Good morrow, everyone. Hi. Yo, what's up? So, as I'm sure most of all of you know, since it is currently still end of May and it is 2020, we are all hashtag quarantine 2020. So I thought I would spend this video doing like a day in the life of my life in quarantine because I've got nothing else to do. I also just want to give a shout out to my new glasses. I got I got a blue light glasses to kind of help with, monitoring my screen usage. Not really monitoring my screen usage, but I figured I'm in front of a screen so much, I might as well get glasses to kind of help with that, just because, I was kind of feeling the effect on my eye. Excuse me. I just woke up not too long ago. I apologize. So, okay, it's about maybe noonish. I don't know. I just checked the time, maybe like a minute ago. But anyway, so the way that I start my day, every morning is that I wake up, my alarm goes off at exactly 11:43 because I'm OCD and I'm weird and I don't like having my alarm go off at exact times, like 45 or 35 or 30. I like having odd numbers because I'm super weird that way. So I have it go off and, hi, yes. Hi, do you want to say hi to the camera? Yeah? Cameo appearance? No? Okay. So, I usually wake up at 11:43 or I set my alarm at 11:43 just so that way I can hear it, but then I usually wake up anytime between 11:45 to 2 o'clock. Yesterday, I slept in until 1:30. Oops. But luckily my cat woke me up. Isn't that right, Tom Tom? Yeah. I've gotten weird with my cat. I think I need help. So, anyway, this is going to be, again, day in the life of quarantine video 2020. So what are you up to, cat? Do you want to say hi? Yeah. This is my pretty kitty, Tom Tom. She's a girl cat with a boy name. Tommy. Tom Tom. Honey, hi. I love her so much. Hi. Yeah? No? Okay. Every single day, afternoon, morning, whatever, I do more or less the exact same thing for breakfast, which is bagels. So I get out the butter first so it could thaw, and then I get out the bagels. Hi, baby. Hi. Hello. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, look at you. You're so happy. Yes. Hi. You want to look at the camera? Now she also has her breakfast. Yay. Alright, and here's my breakfast. 2 bagels and a cup of juice. And that's what I've been having mostly every day in quarantine. Sometimes I'll have an English muffin. And there have been a few days where I have made myself eggs. And then I usually sit here and I watch YouTube videos on my phone or I check social media. Okay, so I figured I spend this time to talk about what else I do in my daily life in quarantine, or what I have been doing in quarantine. So for starters, I have been trying to learn Portuguese. I've been doing Portuguese lessons. There's a lot of Brazilians that come through Walt Disney World. So I've kind of been trying to learn Portuguese for as long as I've been living in Orlando, because I figured I want to at least somewhat communicate with our Brazilian tourists. So, estou aprendendo português, which is I am learning Portuguese right now. So I've been trying to do my Portuguese lessons as often as I can. I use the Duolingo app, which I like because it shows you how things are spelled out, and it gives you a picture. So like, it gives you a picture of like a newspaper, and it'll say "O jornal," or it'll give you a picture of like a glass of water, and it'll say "agua," you know. And so it also shows you how it's spelled, and it gives you sentences. And so I really like that just because I'm a visual person. So it helps to kind of like, you know, put the name to the face. And then, again, it's visual, which I like, so it also gives you a sense of how it's written out and the sentence structure and everything. And I use another app called Pimsleur, which is a subscription, but it's not too bad. And what it is, it's like 30-minute sessions, and you listen to it, and it pretty much tells you a conversation, and it breaks down the conversation piece by piece. So with Pimsleur, I'm on hotel vocabulary right now. So currently the longest sentence that I know how to say in Portuguese is, I have to think of it, is sabe onde está minha mala, which is, do you know where my suitcase is? And so, you know, so that's what it is. Like, it plays a conversation for you, and then it breaks it down for you. So it'll be like, this person said this, now say this person said that. And I really like that because I need to hear long conversations, because that is what I hear at work. One thing I've also been trying to do in quarantine is reading. I am currently up to my 4th book. I've been wanting to do more. I have found a lot of books here at my mom's. So I figure, you know, I have the time, I can do some reading now. So a lot of it is a book's part of a series. So the first book that I read was Kingdom Keepers, which is the Disney After Dark, which is the first book in a series by Ridley Pearson. Pretty much what it's a Disney book, first of all, in case you can't see the castle. So pretty much it's a book inspired by Walt Disney World. And without going into a lot of detail, it's pretty much like a fantasy world within Walt Disney World itself. And I liked it for the Disney aspect, and I thought it was very creative, like how they incorporated their own world within Walt Disney World, if that makes sense. The only thing that really bothered me about it, and this is why I'm not sure if I want to continue reading the rest of the series, is that, like, it's like little things, and I guess it's just me as a cast member, you know, like, for example, when they talk about admission for cast members, what they say in here is inaccurate. And it's just like little things like that, which again, I think just because since I'm a cast member, I know how the company works, and then the way that they say it works in here is inaccurate. But other than that, very interesting. It's an adventure novel, which I really like. My favorite genres are like action and adventure, and like I also like romance, and I like fantasy novels. So this is also a mix of like fantasy and adventure, and there's also a little bit of magic in there, which I like. The second book that I read in quarantine, it's again part of a series. It was Emily Winsnap and the Ship of Lost Souls. And this is book number 6 in the Emily Winsnap series, which is one of my all-time favorite series. So if you've never read it before, Emily Winsnap, which is the first book, and it's about a girl who discovers that she is a mermaid and that she has mermaid lineage. And so the rest of the stories are just pretty much going off of that. And it's just about the mermaid adventures that she goes on. This is meant for a younger audience. It's meant for like 12 to 13-year-olds. But I do love Liz Kessler's writing style. And I think just the cover art is gorgeous. And this one I read in like a day and a half. I mean, it's not that thick. But I mean, even still, sometimes it does take me a while to read a book. But no, this took me like a day and a half to finish, just because I found it very enthralling. So this was a lot of fun. And I just finished yesterday book number 7 in this series, Emily Winsnap and the Falls of Forgotten Island, which again continues her adventures and her mermaid adventures, and like, you know, what she goes on and everything. And I can't really explain the plot of the book without spoiling all the other 5 books, which I have. They're all right here in front of me. But again, I love Emily Winsnap. I love the Emily Winsnap series. I love Liz Kessler. She's amazing. I love her writing style. I definitely plan on reading more of her books outside of the Emily Winsnap series. Again, meant for a younger audience, but it's written in a way where you don't feel like it's meant for like too young of an audience. You know, like I don't feel like I'm dumbing myself down reading this, you know. But anyway, again, really cute. And so my 4th book that I'm currently reading is Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire, which is actually the basis of the Wicked musical, hence the cover. And it says right here, the novel that inspired the hit Broadway musical. So the book is a prequel to Wizard of Oz, which is about, you know, the Wicked Witches of the West, about the Wicked Witches of Oz, or the Witches of Oz. And the book is very different from the musical. I tried reading it in high school, but I realized very quickly that it was very mature. It's not so much that it's much more mature than the musical. Like I'm pretty sure they say the F word in this. There's lesbian undertones between Elphaba and Galinda from what I remember. And in the chapter that I'm currently reading, they were openly talking about, I'm on a chapter where, we pretty much meet Elphaba's parents. Elphaba's the Wicked Witch. We meet Elphaba's parents, and so, I'm gonna backtrack a bit. So the book is very different because, whereas the musical, it just focuses on their life in university, and then, life after that, which is Act 1 and Act 2, this focuses on a lot of other parts. So, there's like part 1 of the book, which focuses on Elphaba's parents and their failing marriage, and how Elphaba's mom may have supposedly cheated on her dad, because, you know, she comes out green. They're like, why is she green? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's very interesting because her dad is a priest, and so there's all like these undertones about like, oh, is this punishment? Is my daughter the devil? Blah, blah, blah. And then there's also like reference to Elphaba's mom possibly being an alcoholic. So it's very interesting. So that's part 1. And then like later on, we see like, you know, of course, Elphaba and Galinda in university. And then later on, it's like, you know, after that, like what happens, etc., etc. So like it's much heavier, as you can see. And the writing is also very small. Much heavier than the musical is. Don't get me wrong, I love the musical. It is one of my all-time favorites, hence why I bought the book. But I'm very excited to try and read this again and get a feel for it and see the musical's original, you know, inspiration. But, again, it's kind of going off of, like, you know, the whole, like, fantasy story that I like, the fantasy genre that I like. So I'm looking forward to reading it again. Because it's also very, very wordy. Like, I would read but like, dude, it's very wordy. So I'm gonna, I've been rambling on. But otherwise, yes, that's what I've been reading in quarantine, and I definitely recommend all of them if you guys are into those genres. I'm currently out, hence why I'm wearing my mask. We are at the Allentown Farmers Market with my mom, and in regards to like being socially distant and marking everything, there's tape marks on the ground that are 6 feet apart from each other. And yeah, we've come here maybe like once a week now.
Every Friday.
What?
It's like a Friday.
Yeah, we come here like every Friday to get some snacks. There's kettle corn here that I like. We get some fruit. We get eggs. This has become also part of our quarantine routine now. And now, of course, we're also getting pickles because I love pickles. And here we always buy these little bags of kettle corn because they're so good, and I'm a sucker for kettle corn. Thank you!
You too. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda!
Bye for our weekly,
So on the floor here, you see the 6 foot apart markers. And then they also have like hand sanitizing stations and reminders to wear your mask. And they're also not asking you to sign for checks. So yeah, it's pretty standard here. I go out for a run because it was a beautiful day outside and it was gorgeous, and then it was really hot, but now it's downpouring. You can literally hear it on the roof of our house. So that's out of the question today. So I will not be going for a run. However, I'm staying in. I have raspberries from the farmer's market, which I'm going to be snacking on. And I'm going to be watching one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Once Upon a Time, because they finally have all the seasons on Netflix. The 7th season doesn't exist. So, since I have the time, I'm rewatching Once Upon a Time. So, hey! Okay, so it's like 1:30 in the morning. I totally lost track of time. I decided in quarantine, I decided to rewatch one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I decided to start rewatching Once Upon a Time. Season 7 doesn't exist. So I'm like halfway through season 1, and I forgot how amazing the first season was. And I'm catching like all these like unintentional foreshadows. It's great. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, but like, you know, like Rumpel recently said a comment about something, and I was all just like, oh my god, that's foreshadowing to a later season. I just spat all over myself. But anyway, so with quarantine, I usually start getting ready for bed around like 1. In the beginning, I was going to bed around 2, and now that's gotten later and later. So I go to bed anytime between 1:30 and 4. Because time has no meaning anymore. So, y'all are about to see me get ready for bed, and hopefully my cat will join us later. So, I just realized how tired I am. I want to do one quick honorable mention from one thing I've been doing in quarantine a lot, especially in the beginning of quarantine here in Pennsylvania. I was playing a lot of Sims 4 because The Sims is amazing, and I had never played Sims 4 prior to quarantine. So that was a lot of fun. I've created my boyfriend, I've created a bunch of my friends, and I've even created my cat. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of just, play on The Sims and play in my own little digital world. So I'll play that every now and then, and if I get into one of like my Sims spells, I'll play for like 8 hours straight or like 6 hours. It's amazing. But anyway, so shout out to Sims 4 for being a very big highlight of my quarantine. So anyway, I'm gonna read for a little bit. I'll probably finish a couple chapters of my book. Once again, I am reading Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. So it's very wordy. I'll probably, like I said, read a couple chapters and all of that and do that. I'm waiting for my cat to come in. She usually comes in and, shares the bed with me for majority of the evening, if not the late morning before I wake up. So anyway, thanks for following me around quarantine. I've got nothing else to do. Disney opens back up July 11th. So I'm very excited about that. And I guess I'll just see you guys next time. I hope you enjoy this video.